In the Republic of Moldova, any stranger has the right to ask asylum. Asylum applications in the Republic of Moldova can be handed in personally at the Asylum and Integration Directorate and Structural and Territorial Subdivisions of the Bureau of Migration and Asylum, at the crossings of the state borders, at the police, in prisons or in subdivisions with provisional detention within the law enforcement. If the application for asylum is submitted at the crossings of the state border while 24 hours, you will be taken by the representatives of the Bureau of Migration and Asylum in order to process your asylum application form. You will be under the supervision of the border police staff for 24 hours. It is important for you to know that the asylum applicants are not penalized for the illegal entering nor staying on the territory of the Republic of Moldova. The only competent authority responsible for examining the applications for asylum in the Republic of Moldova is the Asylum and Integration Directorate of the Bureau of Migration and Asylum. During the asylum procedure, you have rights and obligations to be respected. Registration procedure. Since you apply for asylum, you have the right to be assisted and advised freely by one of the legal advisors of the implementing partners of the UNHCR Moldova mission or by a representative of the UN Refugee Agency, but also by a lawyer paid from your own sources. A representative of the aid will give you an application form where you will have to indicate your personal data and the reason of requesting an asylum. As an asylum seeker, you have the following rights. The right to be informed about your rights and duties in the language you understand. The right not to be returned nor expelled until your asylum application is determined. During the asylum procedure, you will be issued a temporary identity document that will identify you during the period that you are applying for asylum in the Republic of Moldova. You will be provided an interpreter translator at any stage of the asylum procedure. Your personal data will be protected. You have the right to work and the right to education. The aid employees will offer you more details about the way of getting a place to work and study in the Republic of Moldova. Your duties in the Republic of Moldova are to tell the truth and to cooperate with the decision counselor in order to fully establish the relevant circumstances relating to your request, to give all the IDs, including the traveling ones, which are in your possession, to undergo photographing, mandatory fingerprint registration and medical examination at the registration level, to inform the aid about changing your address or about leaving your place of residence, to comply with the internal regulations at the accommodation center, to present yourself at the aid for the validity extension of the temporary ID, to respect the laws of the Republic of Moldova. The registration questionnaire. After submitting the asylum application, you will have to fill in a questionnaire being assisted by an employee of the Asylum and Integration Directorate concerning details about your personal and family data, the reasons of your asylum application, the route crossed from the origin country to the Republic of Moldova, and you will have to hand over your travel documents, the IDs that you hold, as well as other relevant documents. Remember, the false information provided during the asylum procedure could be performed in your expense after the issued decision of granting a form of international protection. In case of abandonment of the asylum procedure, it will be accomplished in your absence, or your personal file will be administratively closed. If you decide to abandon your asylum application, you should inform the head of aid as soon as possible. The interview. An essential stage of the asylum procedure is the interview. The eligibility counselor will inform you in person or by phone the place, the date and the time of the interview. If you do not show up to 3 interviews consecutively without giving any good reasons, a decision will be taken based on the material attached to the file. An eligibility counselor of aid will be the one to carry out the interview. On request, you have the right to be interviewed by a person of the same sex. In case you are assisted by a lawyer, legal counselor, or by a UNHCR representative, you should know that these ones cannot answer the questions on your behalf. Throughout the whole interview, the aide will provide you an interpreter free of charge. In case of misunderstandings with the interpreter, it is important to inform the eligibility counselor from the very beginning of the interview. There is no standard period of time when the interview lasts. This period can vary from case to case. If during the interview you need a break, you are free to request for it at any time. The interview will be held in a language that you know, but the interview note will be recorded in the state language. The eligibility counselor will record in a written form all the asked questions and the received answers, all the relevant details of the case, as well as the name of the people who are present at the interview: the lawyer, the legal counselor, the eligibility counselor. All your statements from the interviewing period will be confidential. At the end of the interview, you will sign each page of the interview in order to confirm that you agree with your statements. Read carefully the interview note and ask for its translation before signing it. If you consider that there are some mismatches between what you have declared and what has been recorded in the interview note, you should inform the eligibility counselor before signing the interview note. Cooperate with the eligibility counselor and tell only the truth. Provision of false data may constitute a ground for rejection of the asylum application. During the interview, you will have the possibility to provide a complete and detailed explanation concerning the reason you have left your origin country, as well as the risks you could be exposed to in case of return. The purpose of the interview is to establish the reasons for which you are asking an international protection in the Republic of Moldova. Your application form will be examined within a period up to 6 months. The last one may be extended for consecutive periods of 1 month each, but will not exceed 3 months. On expiry of this term, the head of the aide will issue one of the following decisions: recognition of the refugee status, granting of humanitarian protection, rejection of the asylum application. Challenging the decision. The aide's decision regarding the rejection of your application may be appealed in trial court. You may request to be defended by a lawyer provided free of charge, or you can contact a legal counselor from the Public Association Law Center of Advocates. In court, you'll be cited and you'll be obliged to present yourself whenever needed. You have the obligation to voluntarily leave the territory of the Republic of Moldova upon the expiration of 15 days following the date when the decision of rejection of the application for asylum becomes irrevocable. The Public Association Law Center of Advocates provides legal assistance for asylum seekers and beneficiaries of international protection, stateless persons and applicants for the stateless status. The Association for Child and Family Empowerment, AVECOPI, provides support to asylum seekers and refugees by providing direct material assistance, but also facilitates the access to all government services under the laws in force: medical, social, educational, as well as psychological and psychopedagogical counseling, socio-educational animation for children and women. The Charity Center for Refugees offers cultural, social and moral assistance to the refugees and asylum seekers living in the Republic of Moldova, as well as facilitates their integration in the society. State-guaranteed legal assistance offered by the National Legal Aid Council of State is the provision of legal services into the state budget to those who lack of sufficient funds for services payment. The UN Refugee Agency in the Republic of Moldova has a mandate to support the asylum authorities to implement projects related to protection of people in need of international protection.